All right, hello everybody. Welcome to our lecture video for today. We are talking about special products of polynomials, so let's go ahead and get into it. First thing that we have to talk about is the square of a binomial pattern. So this is when we have a binomial has two terms, a plus b, and we're going to square that binomial. So when we have a plus b, that will be equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And then we've got this little example that you can follow along. So here's a, and our 5 is b. A squared, x squared, plus 2 times a, which is x, times b, which is 5, plus b squared, so 5 squared. And just simplify that, and that will be equal to x squared plus 10x plus 25. When we have a minus b squared, we will have a squared minus 2 times a times b plus b squared. So notice these signs right here match. Nothing else changes, right? So when I look at this next example, we've got 2x minus 3 squared, 2x squared, minus 2 times 2x times 3. So notice here, they did not keep that negative 3, right? That is a positive 3. We take care of that negative sign with this minus sign right here. Okay? And then plus that 3 squared, so 9. So we'll have 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. So let's do some examples together. Our first one, 3x plus 4 squared. So our pattern is a squared, so here is a, and 4 is b. So we have a squared, so 3x squared, plus 2 times a, 3x, times b is 4, plus b squared, so 4 squared. 3x squared is 9x squared, plus 2 times 3x is 6x times 4, plus 16. And finally, 9x squared plus 6x times 4 will be 24x plus 16. For b, 5x minus 2y squared. Here's my a. Here is my b. This time we've got that minus sign. So we've got 5x squared, a squared, minus 2 times a is 5x, times b will be 2y. We already took care of that negative sign, so we'll give it a positive 2y, plus 2y are b squared. 5x squared is 25x squared, minus 10x times 2y plus 2y squared is 4y squared. We will have 25x squared minus 10x times 2y will be negative 20xy plus 4y squared. And these both, that guy and that guy, are both perfect square trinomials is our term for those, because they're a perfect square of those binomials that we squared to get there, right? So now we've got some sum and difference pattern. So this is when we have a problem in the form a plus b times a minus b. That will be equal to a squared minus b squared. So for example, this x plus 3 times x minus 3, the only difference here are these signs. That will be equal to x squared minus 9. So before we use that pattern, I'm going to FOIL this guy as normal. So when I FOIL, I've got my first terms. T times t is t squared my outer terms, which is t times a -5, will be minus 5t, times my inner terms, plus 5t, and then finally my last terms. 5 times -5 is -25. Notice what happens with that -5t plus 5t. That equals 0, right? So these guys right here, my teacher always used to tell me that the guts fall out. So when we have that sum and difference pattern, the guts fall out. So we are just left with t squared minus 25. Okay? So now let's do this next guy without foiling first. So we've got 3x plus y times 3x minus y. That matches our sum and difference pattern. Here is our a. Here is our b. Again, 3x is a, y is b. So I've got 3x is a squared minus b is y squared. 3x squared is 9x squared, and y squared is just y squared. So that's what we've got there. So yes, we can FOIL these, but when we learn these patterns, it makes us a lot more efficient. We can do more problems in less time, right? So let's look at these self-assessments. I want you guys to pause the video and try them on your own, and then come back and check your answers if you're lost. Check in with the video and follow along. So we want to find the product of numbers 1 through 4. So for number 1, that's going to be this guy right here, the square of a binomial pattern. So that's going to be a squared plus 2ab, because I've got a plus sign right here, plus b squared. There is my a is x, and my b is 7. So a squared is x squared plus 2 times x times 7 plus 7 squared. All I did was plug in my numbers. So we've got x squared plus 2 times x is 2x times 7 is 14x plus 7 squared is 49. With number 2, here's my a, x. Here is my b, 10. And just these signs are the only difference between those. So this is going to be my a squared minus b squared. A squared is x minus b squared is 10, so we will have x squared minus 100. Number 3, we have x plus 6y times x minus 6y. A will be x, b will be that 6y, and again, we've got different signs in there. So that's going to be our sum and difference pattern, which is a squared minus b squared. A squared is x, so x squared, minus b squared, and b is 6y. And when we square 6y, we will get 36y squared. We've got to square that 6 and our y. And finally, number 4, 7x is a, 3 is b, and here we've got that minus sign. So this is going to be our square of a binomial pattern with that subtraction sign. So a squared, maybe, there we go, is 7x squared minus 2 times a, 7x, times b, just 3. We already took care of the negative, so that's a positive 3, plus 3 squared. 7x squared, 7 squared is 49, x squared is x squared, minus 14x times 3 plus 3 squared, which is 9. So we will have 49x squared minus 42x plus 9 for our answer. And here is your homework assignment. So after you finish this, if you've got time, I want you guys to work on 7172 homework, which I gave you guys and is posted on Google Classroom. If you finish that, go ahead and start working on 7.3 homework. We will ask and answer questions on Tuesday when I see you guys. But I hope that you guys have a great weekend, a long weekend because we're not here Monday. And I will see you on Tuesday.